Growing up, I lived with my parents and my two siblings. I have two sisters. My mom was always performing things in a certain way. The way she cooked had to be done in a certain manner where things were not out of order. But back then, that was totally normal. Mom was just somebody that liked things a certain way, so we thought nothing of it. During high school, I considered myself a perfectionist, always going for the honor roll, getting straight A's. It wasn't until later, after high school, when I started working, I noticed it started to happen more severely, where things were taking me longer to complete. Again, just like my mom, I needed things done in a certain order. I also noticed at that time that I had this involuntary twitch. It would happen with my wrist, and I just thought, muscle spasm, but I think deep down inside I knew it wasn't. Again, I think it was a part of my OCD. I just had to twitch in a certain way. So OCD, which stands for Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, can be different for everyone. It basically is urges or compulsions, you could say, that are hard to control. Whether it's orderliness, straightening things out, keeping things clean. It's your mind, at least for me, telling you that things need to be a certain way. You can't continue until you perform this ritual. So the mind sort of takes over and makes you do things in a certain manner, which can be very destructive in a day-to-day life. It became a lot more serious and harmful for me shortly after my mom passed away. I remember one specific incident where I was folding laundry, and it actually took me nearly 20 minutes to fold a towel because I just couldn't get the corners perfectly aligned. And I remember sitting there going, oh my gosh, this is so exhausting. And it suddenly dawned on me at that moment that this is exactly what my mom went through. I felt so helpless because I sort of let her live her life without me telling her that I knew that. And now she's gone, and I just want to make things right and help other people. I decided that day or shortly after that I wanted to do a fundraiser, do an event where people could actually understand that OCD, and not just OCD, mental illness exists and it's quite prevalent in our community, and we need to come to terms with it and accept people and help people that are going through it. My dad was an amazing individual. What he did for my mom, honestly, I can't say I've ever seen any man do. Not only did he run the household, having 3 daughters, but because of my mom's illness and her embarrassment and shame around it, he took care of her without letting anybody know, what she was feeling. He made her meals, he took her out. He was there for her. She literally lived her life through my father. And what he brought to the family, like the strength and his beliefs and values, I live with those today. And honestly, I'm blessed even further to have a family today myself. What my husband, Chris, does for me, I truly believe not everybody could do. I mean, when I'm going through an episode and he sees that I'm having a tough day and I'm performing rituals, he'll either just put his arm around my back, he'll hold my hand, whatever he has to do to calm me down. And I honestly don't think I could get through this without him. He actually is one of the main people who pushed me to do this fundraiser. He wanted me to come out and be other people's voice and let people know that, this is a serious illness and issue in our community, and that but at the same time you can cope and you can be successful like I have been. My children also, I'm very open with my children about this. I don't want to hide it. It's not something that we don't talk about. We talk about it regularly. We often joke about it. We have our ways to sort of cope with it, and we laugh about it because what can you do? We just try to make light of the moment. With my mom being gone, I feel like I needed to be her voice, because the generation she lived in, she couldn't speak about it. She hid, she was embarrassed, and it just wasn't something she was comfortable talking about. I can be her voice. I'm resourceful, and I'm okay with telling people, telling the world that this is how it is and this is what I have, because I'm hoping that by me speaking about it, I might be able to touch others who might be feeling something similar or might know someone who is going through something similar, so that they can come forward, they can learn to cope, and they can begin to heal. Now I've just come to terms with it. It's who I am. And I honestly find that the more I talk about it and the more I'm able to just express myself, the anxiety actually lessens and I feel more free. I want people to be able to acknowledge each other, for what they are, whole what they are, not just the side that they want to see, because we all have our flaws. And mental illness is not a flaw, it's an illness, just like cancer, just like diabetes. We don't choose to have it, but if you do, then you need to learn how to cope with it, and other people need to know that this is who you are and they just need to accept it.